Hi, my name is Bo Cisco, and I'm the founder and lead instructor of the Behavioral Analysis Training Group. We've been training law enforcement since 2009 in behavioral analysis, body language, and other related products. Today, I'd like to talk about the sudden observation reaction. It's a critical tool you need to know to get out there and keep yourself safe. Now, what is a sudden observation reaction, or S.O.R? This is the behaviors you can expect from somebody, or you will observe from somebody in the first 1 to 2 seconds of an encounter. Now, there's a couple things that has to happen. One, like it says, observation. They have to realize they're under observation. So you come around the corner, make eye contact with a person in a hallway or in a room or in a shop. That first couple seconds, they may give you something to indicate what their mindset is. Now, not every time, but if there is a strong reaction to them being under observation by you, you're most likely to see an S.O.R. Let me give you an example. Let's just say you're on the computer and you're doing something your boss wouldn't appreciate you doing on the computer. You're shopping where you should be working, and the boss comes around the corner and sees you. Or maybe he doesn't. You come around the corner, you make eye contact. You're not sure what's going on, so you may, oh shoot, you may give some kind of verbal reaction that you are doing something you're not, because in your mind, what's happening? Your mind is, oh no, he's going to see us. And your body will follow in some sort of verbal response. Now, it could also be a facial expression. Same way. You come around the corner, you realize your boss makes eye contact with you, you're doing something you're not supposed to do on the computer, and all of a sudden you do something to let him know you're doing something wrong. He looks at you and realizes you're not doing something right. I need to look more at you. This only happens in the first 1 or 2 seconds. Most of the time after that, you will recompose yourself and it'll be harder to figure out what's in someone's mindset. Now, there could also be a behavioral as well. In that same situation, you may quick throw the computer off the room, slam the laptop lid down. Why'd you do that? It's pretty obvious when the boss comes in the room and one of their employees slams the laptop lid down for no reason other than the fact that they walked in the room. Probably going to lead him to believe something's not right. There's a bunch of different behaviors, facial expressions, and verbal signatures that could come out of that someone could do while they're in that first 1 to 2 seconds of shock and uncertainty. But let's use it for law enforcement. I always train people, as I'm sure you have been trained, to scan the area to see what you see. Well, what are you looking for? Most people say they're looking for threats. Okay, but what's a threat? Today, we live in a world where ambushes of law enforcement is pretty common, as well as a lot of other things that we need to look out for. So let's put something else in the toolbox for when we're scanning a room. Here's an example. You're working your shift, you're in uniform, you need a cup of coffee, you walk into a coffee shop. There's 15 people in the coffee shop, sitting down on the couches and chairs. You walk in and you scan the room, right? But what are we looking for? Don't say threats. Let's look for behaviors. Let's look for things that might make us think, maybe there's a problem here. What I like to do is I like to scan the room and make eye contact with any person that was willing to make eye contact back with me. Because what happens when you walk in a building? A lot of people their eyes automatically go up to see who it is. So I make eye contact with everybody I can. Not to be intimidating, but just to let everyone know I see. I might nod, smile, but I make eye contact just for a second. And I'm looking in that second for something, some sort of S.O.R, whether it be verbal, a facial expression, or a behavioral. So if I look over and somebody just nods to me and goes back to what they're doing, reading their book, drinking their coffee, that's a positive. But if I look at somebody and all of a sudden, for a second there, they get that look of fear on their face, or they turn away, or they look down, or shoot, they have a verbal sudden observation reaction. They look toward the door. They look toward the back door for an exit. They look to see who else is around them. They pull their person close to them. These are all indications that there could be something negative in their mind when they realized I was looking at them. Now, I'm not saying this is always a bad thing. I'm not saying that you draw your gun and engage this person right off the bat. What I'm saying is there's something in that person's mind. Something reacted in that person's mind to your presence. And maybe it wasn't positive. Now, they just might not like law enforcement. They might not like you. They might be in a bad mood. They could be wanted for a minor crime. They could be getting ready to rob the place. It could be anything on that spectrum and more things that we didn't even think about. So what do we do? What's the plan after this? Let me suggest to you the plan B, that we never let that person out of our peripheral. It means no matter where they go in that coffee shop, we always kind of have a view of that person or people. Now, what does that do for us? One, it gives us the ability to determine how we're going to react with the people in there with a plan, not just, I don't let anyone behind me. I have to sit my back against the wall. Well, those are great things to do, but is that always possible? No. Someone's going to have to get behind me in line. I may not get that great cop seat in the corner. So I have to do something to figure out how I'm going to protect myself and maintain my officer safety. Well, after scanning the room and looking at people, I've determined one, two, or three people, or maybe none, that I don't want to get behind me. I don't want them to get the anything. I don't want them to get any kind of advantage over me from a tactical situation. Have I alleviated myself from an ambush? I don't know. But what have I done? I've let people know that I'm engaged with the people around me. I'm very aware. And if you were trying to ambush me or put me under surveillance for possible future ambush, I've let you know that I'm very alert and it's very hard to get behind me. And these are the things we want to portray: alertness, professionalism, readiness. These are little tips that help you throughout your day maintain that. And it doesn't take much, doesn't cost much, takes very little time, but it's very effective because once this becomes a habit, what are the odds of you being ambushed? Remember, predators don't go after predators. You will probably take very few reports in your career of a law enforcement officer being mugged or purse snatched or beat up in a parking garage. Why? Because who are the criminals that do these crimes? Are they looking for the big, tough, alert person? No, they're looking for the person that's stuck in their cell phone. They're looking for the person that's OMG, LOL, as they walk through the parking garage. They're not looking for the person who's alert and watching them. They don't want that person to go toe to toe to rob them in most cases. We want to be that person that doesn't portray themselves as not paying attention, that's not alert. It's hard to do sometimes. We all have those days. But this is a little tool, the sudden observation reaction, to help you when you're scanning an area to be able to put people in categories of ones you feel safe being around and ones you don't. Now, it's not foolproof, but it gives you something to do. Remember, situational awareness is a great thing, but it's not something you just turn on. You have to have a plan. Stay tuned for more topics in the briefing room, and we'll discuss other ways to help yourself be safe in law enforcement and learn some behaviors along the way. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Stay ready.